So here I'm at the Hampton Inn. A couple of birds flying away here this morning. I just wanted to show you. They've got a great setup here. You got 5 Tesla Level 2 chargers. You pay for them, but there's one. This was one of the first sites with the Tesla Destination for Business. There's 2 more. And there's 2 more. And they're the really, really nice ones. And let me show you. Cybertruck's over here getting ready to go here on a road trip this morning from Salem, Virginia, the Roanoke, Virginia area, to Dallas, Fort Worth. And it'll be over 2 days, actually 3 days. Got meetings in Knoxville, Tennessee tonight, Nashville, Tennessee the next night. Then probably, I believe I've got a meeting in Texarkana Friday night, back to the Dallas, Fort Worth on Saturday. So yeah, it's over, I guess, 3-4 days. But these Tesla business destination chargers have the magic dock. So you've got your J1772 adapter. You just press this button when you pull it out. And if I put that back in and just pull out the NACS adapter, really great. You can charge any EV. Unfortunately, they get iced because this hotel struggles for parking. They actually have a separate parking lot up there and a little bridge you can walk across to get to the hotel, but it's pretty awkward. And you can see the Tesla pay-per-use electric vehicle charging only. So let's take a look at our trip. If you watched my previous road trip videos from Dallas, Fort Worth to Roanoke, Virginia, you will have seen how that trip worked out. Let's take a look at our trip data here. We're gonna click there. And here's the Roanoke trip. Now I have it paused. So it's the play button is highlighted. That means this was my trip to Roanoke. I paused it maybe 50 or so miles after we had gotten here. So there's a little bit of local in it, but 1,346 miles, 430 watt-hours per mile. A local running around Virginia for the last 200 miles for the last week or so, 365 watt-hours per mile. By the way, 32,624 miles on the vehicle. We'll have close to 34,000 until we get back. Here's the lifetime for those total miles, 426.4 watt-hours per mile. I love with this new trip program, I can add a trip and I can say, just like this, we'll say DFW. And that is going to be our return trip. And I can hold down on these. Let me touch that properly here. I can hold down on it and I can drag these wherever I want them to be. So I'm going to move this up top. The local Virginia trip, we're going to pause this one just so we have it for reference. And notice here on the trip gauge, you can swipe up to see all your various trips in order. DFW, Roanoke, local, lifetime. Absolutely amazing. Great job, Tesla. I love that you've reorganized this. I wish I could still show a couple additional trip things there by putting check boxes, but I'll take this. I've gotten used to it. I'll take this over the old one. So first stop here, we're going to go to the EV Go in White Pine, Tennessee. It is 199 miles away. Let's see if it thinks we can make it. We're at 100% state of charge, 321 miles. This vehicle was originally rated with 325 miles, so over nearly 33,000 miles. I've only lost 4 miles of estimated EPA range. So says we'll make it with 9%. Looks good to me. I am going to go ahead in on the outlets here. Make sure, I can't keep outlets on AC power. I want to make sure that my little refrigerator right here is turned on. Let's hold down this power button. Doesn't look like it's working while we're plugged in. Anyway, I am going to go ahead and put climate in pet mode, and I'll be hitting the road here in just a minute. It's 8:50. Hopefully we're on the road by about 9:10. I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, I am unplugging here, and it's 35 cents a kilowatt hour, which they used to have free charging. They don't anymore, but you know what? It is so convenient and so nice. Absolutely fantastic, and we are good to go. And by the way, if you've never followed one of my videos, it's real world EV road tripping. It's just me, you, and the camera. No fancy editing, no fancy overlays, no fancy music. It's me, you, riding along the highway. I'll be talking. If you enjoy that type of content, please follow along. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're headed all the way, like I said, to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, over 1,250 miles likely with the extra stops. So more details to follow, but I'll be back with you here in just a little bit as we hit the road. Okay, we are on the road, driving through the Salem, Virginia area here, and showing arriving with 11%. Got about 3 hours to go. 214 miles, headed to that GM Energy Station in White Pine, Tennessee. We can always bail out early in Bristol, Virginia, or in that area if we need to stop. So we'll see how it goes. We've got a full car here. Got Ella, got Robbie, and got everybody else. So they are our golden doodle, my daughter's golden doodle, and my wife and I have a miniature dachshund, Robbie. So they're along for the ride. So this is a cross-country road trip with 5 beings in the car headed across the country. So again, I hope you follow along. This will be a fun one. 82 degrees out, 9:26 a.m. I'm at 100% still on the battery. And since charge, you can see I've driven 3 miles, still showing 320 miles of range. Absolutely love the Cybertruck and feel confident we should be able to make it to White Pine with 11% remaining. Now, do the math. That means I'm getting less than 250 miles on a charge. Keep in mind, we'll be rolling along at highway speed, so it does factor that in. This has been an amazing vehicle overall. However, meaning that I really enjoy it. The self-driving is incredible. We are on FSD today. Let's take a look before I tell you the however. The software we're on here, we are on the latest version of FSD 14.3.3, and we're on the 2026.14.6.7 software, current as of June 10th, 2026. The however is had a lot of little finicky things. This thing's been in the shop 10 times, going in for the 11th time when I get back to town due to a charging port error I got on this trip, saying the charging port needs to be replaced. It's working fine. Fingers crossed it'll work on this trip, but Tesla is reviewing this truck for possible buyback due to the number of times it's been in for repeated issues, and honestly, none of them have been major. I'm gonna say, knock on wood, that I've been lucky with that, but this is a early build. This is a 2024, mid-2024 build, and they were known to have some early production issues, so it seems like the 2026 models, they've resolved all that. I would honestly just buy another one. I've had issues with vehicles before on the first production year. That's certainly a risky run with any brand, and certainly not defending it. It is what it is. You know, I've got a couple other vehicles that I love, like the Rivian R1T, quad motor, large pack, and then also I've got a Mercedes EQS 580 SUV that's just fully loaded, and it's an amazing vehicle. So I've got several other amazing vehicles. This Cybertruck, though, is the one we choose to cross-country road trip in. Comfort, quiet, smooth, and full self-driving. I mean, it's a game changer. So I have noticed this current version has some hesitancy. It will jerk the wheel a little bit. It's regressed a little with hesitancy compared to the previous version, but I'm sure the next version will fix that. So it's just constantly improving in general. But I have noticed some kind of strange behavior on local city streets, a little bit of wheel jerkiness and some indecisiveness. But overall, absolutely nothing out there even comes close. So I will be with you here in a little bit as we get out on the interstate. I've got to make some calls, got a lot of conference calls throughout the day. I'll try to keep you updated. This is going to be a long one as we travel across the country over several days. So stay with me and I'll be back here shortly. Okay, here's a little trip update. We're riding along at 532 watt-hours per mile. We're gaining elevation, so not great efficiency. Showing arriving with 7% and 168 miles, 2 hours and 27 minutes. Been driving for 53 minutes, 49 miles. 79 degrees out, 10:08 a.m. It is going to get warmer as we head towards Texas. One thing I wanted to mention, on the way up here to Virginia, there is an EVgo charger I've used for years in Fort Chiswell, Virginia. It was 2 chargers, 4 stalls, 350 kilowatt, an EVgo, and they've upgraded that. I just looked, and it's now available. It was offline on the way up. It's now available again, and it has 3 350 kilowatt chargers, 6 stalls. So a total upgrade on that site, which is really neat. And if I needed juice, I would stop there and throw some on. I don't, so we're going to continue on, but really interesting. And we're just going to ride along, enjoy the beautiful views here as we drive through the mountains, headed into Tennessee from Virginia. We're riding through the Pulaski, Virginia area. You can always see that down in the bottom right of your Tesla navigation, and you'll just see the mountains, the trees, the greenery. It's early June, as I said, in 2026, and just a beautiful drive here through the mountains as we head towards Tennessee. I'll be back with you here shortly, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we are riding along. It is a little colder here. It looks like we may be headed through rain, and we're in the mountains. Of course, that can happen. It will get warmer as we get into Tennessee, especially down towards Nashville, then ultimately into Texas over the next day or so. But we're still about 2 hours and 3 minutes, 141 miles. We're driving through Wytheville, Virginia. You can see that down there. There's quite a few chargers around, including a very old level, version 2, not level 2, version 2 supercharger, 150 kilowatt, that I've charged at on multiple occasions years ago. Probably now 4 years ago is when I started charging there. And I have charged at 70-some kilowatts there multiple times over the years. Glad there's so many more options now. There's an Electrify America charger off that exit. There's Circle K. Of course, you have the Fort Chiswell EVgo. Tesla does need a few more chargers along this route, and hopefully they'll do that or upgrade that old Wytheville, Virginia charger. Anyway, so like I said, 77 degrees is 10:30. We drive in for about an hour and 16 minutes. Got 2 hours and 2 minutes left. 140 miles. We're riding along at highway speeds in standard driving mode. You know, if you click here, you can say what happens when you get to the destination, curbside, or parking lot, or street. And then you have the different profile options for how it drives in full self-driving. Sloth, chill, standard, hurry, and Mad Max. I'm running in standard, which is great. The little green dot up here beside the air quality, you can click most of these things. So if I click the weather, pops up. You can click the AQI, shows you the air quality is moderate right now. Plenty of options, but that little green dot up there to the right of the AQI tells you that I'm running on full self-driving. You can also see it by the blue line here. You can slide this over for a full screen visualization. A lot of people like that. I prefer my navigation right here on the right. You can see my lights are on because it has gotten to be a little bit dark out, so it's turned on the automatic lights. And let me click my lights and make sure they are on auto. They are. So we are at 32,702 miles on this truck. We'll be crossing 33,000 miles tomorrow and close to 34,000 miles the next day. 18 months, 30 plus thousand miles. This thing has gotten used. By the way, it's as quiet as it's ever been, as smooth as it's ever been. Tesla really has done a good job of improving this one. We'll see how it goes. We're going to keep riding along. More details to follow. I'll be back with you here shortly. So it's kind of funny as you drive through these mountains, and by the way, there's a little Mountain Empire Airport, little private strip over here in a field that runs up along the side of the road. But it's kind of funny, you know, it's showing only up to a 15% chance of rain in this whole route, and it looks to me like we're headed right into rain. Now it shows, I think, a 7% chance in White Pine, Tennessee, which is only 127 miles away, but it's kind of crazy when you're running through these mountains how you can be completely sunny, climb over the mountain, and be on the other side, and it's raining. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, it's we're headed in the rain here in just a few minutes. Matter of fact, the FSD, or the rain sensing camera wiper system, you know, it's so dumb. Teslas don't have a rain sensor. They took those out years ago, and you'll just randomly get dry wipes with the wipers because the cameras think it's raining or something, and it happens all the time. You can see probably a streak there on the windshield. It's happened multiple times already today. Totally annoying, and I know they want to remove a part, and the best part is no part, but ridiculous that they pulled the rain sensor out of these, where the Rivian, the EQS, both have tremendous rain sensors. The wipers never wipe unless they need to, and then they work very well. It's just a really, really dumb decision. And maybe one day they'll solve it with AI and cameras and whatever, but it's not there yet. Supposedly they are working on something that'll pick up the resistance on the wiper motor. So if it's raining, obviously there's more resistance while the wiper's running, and based on that resistance, it can know whether to run the wiper or how fast or whatever, along with the cameras. But a simple rain sensor, inexpensive part, solves it, and they had it, and they took it out. I know they took out parking sensors, and they've mostly solved all that, but yeah, kind of ridiculous in my opinion on the rain sensor. Anyway, interesting as we ride along. The efficiency is not great. Let's take a look at overall here. Bear with me one second. We're going to hit drive, and it says we're going to arrive with about 10.9%. We've consumed 39.9. Let's take a look at what this says right here. There you go, a little explanation on how everything works. That's really, really cool. I didn't know that was there. Whoops. Bear with me. We're going to go back to trip. See the notes there down below. Really, really powerful tool for the current drive. And then let's click trips up here. And here you go. Projected range remaining for 60% is 144 miles. And if we look at the DFW trip, we're at 513. Versus the Roanoke trip in the reverse direction, we were at 430. Again, keep in mind, we've been climbing elevation, so hopefully that'll improve as we get there to our stop in White Pine. But if we hit rain, that will decrease our efficiency. And I don't know if you can see, but the roads are a little bit wet here. We're going to be hitting rain any minute. I think positive news is it'll get our windshield cleaned off. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and ride along. I'll be back with you shortly. It has gotten colder, so, you know, it just rained here. It's 73 degrees out. And we are riding along. 123 miles to go. Arriving with about 12%, around 12:30. So I just wanted to show that my efficiency is improving, 470 watt-hours per mile. Also, my expected range upon arrival is up to 16%. I love that Tesla has really adjusted their way of managing your state of charge upon arrival. In the past, it would start out much higher and then drop as you go. Now I think they take into account worst case scenario, and as you're driving, if conditions improve, driving speeds improve, efficiency improves, it just gets better. And I love, you know, I started out at 7-8%, and now I'm at 16% state of charge upon arrival. Been driving 2 hours and 7 minutes, 138 miles. Only about an hour and 8 minutes to go, 78 miles. We'll be to that EVgo charger in White Pine. We are passing the Tesla Supercharger. You'll see it there on the map. 8-stall, 250 kilowatt version 3 in Bristol, Virginia at these sheets. So we are rolling on. Looking forward to getting there. I am going to check the EVgo app again, just make sure that charger is still online, that there are chargers available, but that is where we're headed. I've had a lot of success with that one. Don't have a lot of concern about it. Should be good to go. And I'll be back with you here in just a few minutes. I think the full self-driving thing is really critical. You know, this car beside me has gone past me, is behind me. She is on her phone the entire time, all over the road, speeding up, slowing down, completely unsafe, driving this Kia with Florida tags. Just absolutely terrible. If you can see, she is just on her phone nonstop. Really, really unsafe behavior. The thing is, I can use my phone, and I'm on FSD, and my car is rock solid, centered between the lines, doing the job. Here's my viewing perspective. I mean, this needs to be in every vehicle. It's absolutely outrageously good, and a reason why I will continue to always own a Tesla. Well, never say never, rarely say always. Things could change. Other manufacturers may get this good. In the meantime, Tesla is a game changer. And it is so good. We are 154 miles in. you'll see we're 154 miles. Other than that quick stop after we left the hotel to pick up some refreshments, that's why I have a 3/4 mile variance. It's 154 miles of driving streak on FSD. It is remarkably good. We're only 54 minutes out, 61 miles, 16% state of charge upon arrival. The car has driven me the entire way, changing lanes, speeding up, slowing down, going through traffic, on and off exit ramps, everything it needs to do, the car does. It is remarkably good, guys, just completely insane. Let's take a look at the new full self-driving app, which is down here in the bottom right, and we'll check out our stats. We started this trip from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and back a few weeks ago, after other people had driven the vehicle, we were around 78%. I'm glad to say we're up to 86% now. Almost all of those miles were driven by other people that are non-FSD miles. I am around 98+% on FSD myself. You can see the longest streak was 204 miles. That was the first leg from the Dallas-Fort Worth area on the way to Roanoke, Virginia a couple of weeks ago, where the car drove me that entire first stretch and backed into the charger. The one thing about choosing non-Tesla chargers, like where I'm headed now, it doesn't back into the chargers typically. It'll just pull into the area, so I take over and back in, which breaks the streak. If you let the car back in and then you let the car start out the next leg, it'll create that as one continuous streak all the way along. Anyway, should improve this throughout this trip, because we're on FSD the entire way, and I would expect this to go up to 87 or 88% by the end of this this road trip back to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So let's take another quick glance. 52 minutes out, 12:29 p.m. arrival. Once I get there, now today's destination is Knoxville, Tennessee. We're going to the Tennessean Hotel, which is a very nice hotel in downtown Knoxville. It's only about 45 minutes from the charger, so this is our only charging stop today. We've driven the majority of the drive in this first leg. We'll stop, throw some juice on, and then head to the Tennessean Hotel. I think they plugged my vehicle in there, if I recall. Not 100% sure, so I'm going to go ahead and get a nice deep charge just to be safe in case I don't get charging overnight. And then we'll head into the hotel. I would estimate it'll be the hotel between 1:30 and 2 and get settled in. So all in all, it's been a great trip so far. We're down to that 462 watt-hours per mile, 158 miles in 2 hours and 24 minutes. By the way, it is 80 degrees out at 11:38 a.m. It is warming up as we head into Tennessee. Also, we did not hit that heavy rain, just some light sprinkles. The wipers wiped a few times and then shut off. Hoping we don't hit rain on the rest of the trip. We'll see what happens. It is what it is. The Cybertruck will do a great job. I do have an appointment when I get back to Dallas-Fort Worth. If you swipe here, you can see the tires running good here on the PSI. And, it's 50 cooled. We're running at a total of between 53 and 55, just a little tiny variance. But you'll see, last tire rotation was 5,500 miles ago. That was prior to this trip up here, prior to the trip back. So I'm taking it in Monday. I get back to the Dallas-Fort Worth area on Saturday. Monday, I go to Discount. They'll do a tire rotation and balance. These are new tires that were mounted 5,500 miles ago. So these were replaced on the Cybertruck. So it'll just be a simple cross rotation and balance. And then on Tuesday, I actually dropped the Cybertruck off at Tesla for several repeated issues. We've got a cracked plastic trim on the passenger side back on the top of the bed, where it looks like when they fixed the tailgate they cracked the trim. We have a twisted seat belt on the back driver's side. We have a piece of trim on the dash on the passenger side that looks like it has a gap that needs to be corrected. And then we have the charging port error that came up, notified me, and that Tesla app gave me an alert to schedule service. So, yeah, several items they've got to get corrected, as well as the passenger seat was replaced after multiple attempts, and they kept forgetting to order it. They finally replaced it, and the lumbar is not working right in the passenger seat. So many little stupid issues that I hope they've ironed out in the next version. We'll see. I imagine I'll take delivery of a new one here in the next few months, and we'll get to see how that works. But nonetheless, several appointments coming up. In the meantime, I just got to get to Knoxville, Tennessee. By the way, they've repaved this road and they've made these bridges fairly rough. You'll see these big signs here. It says bump coming up, and here's the bump. You'll feel this hit. Bam. And the car does it pretty well. It's just a little bit of a loud impact. It's a little bit of a jolt. Not a big deal, but I guess they need to fix this roadway. And I have no idea why the car just jumped in the right lane. It saw something with that one sign. Let's kick it up to hurry. And we'll kick it up to mad. And there it goes, back to the left lane. Now we'll scroll it back with the scroll wheel, back to standard. And we'll put this back over there where we want it to be. And there you go. You can see the efficiency now is under 460 watt-hours per mile. So doing better. Okay, I'll be back with you here in just a little bit as we get to the EVgo charger in White Pine and get this thing juiced up. Okay, it is warming up, 82 degrees out, and we are 459 watt-hours per mile as we continue to descend now towards Tennessee. 2 hours and 36 minutes, 16% state of charge upon arrival with 38 minutes left, 43 miles. And yeah, getting off here, exit 4 for White Pine Road and 42 miles. This is an easy, good stop. Hopefully it's not raining. You can see I'm 172 miles on my FSD streak. 82 degrees I mentioned at 11:50 a.m. And we're riding along at highway speeds and doing a great job. I'm just sitting back relaxing. 32% left in the battery currently. And it's just a pleasure to ride along as this vehicle drives me where I need to be. Okay, let's see how this charging session goes. We should be able to pull 350 plus kilowatts, arriving at this state of charge at least over 300, 320 or so. Let's see what happens. We've had derated sessions at EVgo quite a bit lately. It'll be interesting to see how this works at this one. The only station, frankly, that's given me absolute full power every single time has been Iona. Unfortunately, they're just not as widespread as some of these other charger options yet. They will be, because they're running at Iona speed, which is unbelievably fascinating how quickly they're bringing online their DC fast charging system. And I love using the Iona chargers. I mean, in this truck I can get 400 kilowatts. I do have a base model Cybertruck Reserve that I'm thinking about taking delivery on. It only charges up to 325 kilowatts, which tells me it doesn't have the split pack system with 800 volt versus 400 volt, meaning it probably only charges at 400 volt. So at a EVgo or at an Iona, it would only pull around 220 kilowatts. I would not get full speed at those third-party DC fast chargers. Only at a Tesla with the huge amperage boost would I see the 325 kilowatt, and only on the version 4 dispensers that have that big amperage boost in place. So I don't know, that's interesting. I don't know that I would lose that much time anyway, because the charging curve drops off so quickly in the Cybertruck, but I hate to lose any charging speed because Tesla's charging speed and charging curve kind of sucks anyway, and I hate to go backwards. So you know, I'm not too worried about the loss of the air ride, the loss of the rear screen, the half fabric, half fake leather seats, the lack of ventilated seats up front, the lack of heated seats in rear. None of that stuff really bothers me. I guess the two things that are probably most prevalent to me would be the DC fast charging speed and the air ride. Those are the two biggest things. All that other stuff is kind of nonsense that I really don't care about. For example, they have less bed lighting, less LED lighting in the bed. I mean, who cares? There's lighting in there. That doesn't matter to me. But I'm concerned about the charging speed. I'm concerned about the air ride just a little bit. So anyway, we'll see how that plays out. I'll make a decision. In the meantime, we are going to kick this thing up to the hurry profile and let it ride along a little bit as we are flowing with traffic, and I've got traffic on my bumper. Yeah, let's see how it is when we get there, and I'll keep you updated. Okay, so here we are riding through the woods as usual. This is pretty much a huge part of the drive across the country. It looks just like this. And it's 85 degrees out. It's warmed way up. 1207, 193 miles on this FSD so far. 194 miles on this leg, 2 hours and 53 minutes, 450 watt-hours per mile. We have seen it drop below 450 briefly, so much better and in line with expectations for efficiency. 20 minutes, 21 miles away from the charger here in White Pine at the GM Energy, Pilot, Flying J, EVgo, dozen different brands on the charging station. So they do show available all 4 charging posts and both of the 350 kilowatts. And yeah, it's just a very short way up the road and we'll be there. So I'll be back with you as we're getting off the exit. You can see traffic's a little bit heavy here, but we have 25% left on the battery currently. And you'll see again 17% upon arrival. So it's gained about 10% throughout the course of the drive, which is great. And really saves a bit of time. So I'm pleased overall with the efficiency on this leg. And you'll see there it's under 450. We'll see what it looks like when I arrive. Should be even a little better till then. And we'll go from there. Remember, speed kills efficiency. So if I were to slow down by 5 miles an hour, that would be closer to the 420 or closer to 400 watt-hours per mile for sure. But hey, we're riding along at highway speeds. Okay, beautiful sky. You can see it's cleared up. No rain in the forecast, it looks like. And we'll be to Knoxville here very, very shortly. Only 18 minutes to the charger, and then just another 45 minutes to the hotel we'll be staying at tonight. So we'll charge for 20-30 minutes. I want to get a good buffer on. We'll use the facilities. We'll walk the dogs, and I'll clean up my email. I've been on the phone pretty much all morning between video clips and just plugging away as I work and travel to meetings. Okay, be back with you shortly. Again, what a beautiful drive. This is my perspective from the driver's seat. Feet down here, not touching either pedal, and just riding along. Okay, 86 degrees now, 8.3 miles out, and exactly 10 miles out, we got this message right here: preconditioning battery for fast charging. We're 206 miles on the FSD streak, arriving at 12:27 in just 9 minutes. We're almost there, 17% state of charge upon arrival. We're holding steady at 448 watt-hours per mile, 3 hours and 4 minutes. Nice long first leg, over 200 miles. Absolutely loving it. Love to be able to fully charge and make that first leg of a road trip with a full tank of juice. It makes the day go faster. It cuts out a charging stop, and today's an easy one. Only maybe 250 or so miles today, and we're there. So really easy trip. We're almost to the destination. We're going to get a nice juice up here at this stop and go from there. Right now, all 4 stalls still are available, so that's good news. We'll go there and get plugged in. Tell you what I haven't seen on the last couple trips is EVgo has started installing the NACS adapters on their cables. I haven't seen that yet at any EVgo charging station. One thing I do want to mention, if you're following along, you've clicked like, click subscribe, and you enjoy this type of content, if you're looking to purchase a Tesla, click on the link in the description of the video. There's a referral code in there, and you can take advantage of using my referral code to get a discount when you buy your next Tesla. It certainly can save money, add free full self-driving, free supercharging, etc. Also, tons of vendors listed in there, like EV Base, one of my favorite that I like to mention, and 3W floor mats. My favorite floor mats by far for any of my electric vehicles. 3W makes amazing products. Huge discount code in there, BYTESLA, but also Amazon links in the description. And the EV Base stuff, they make running boards, they make all kinds of really cool charging adapters, extension cables, etc., etc. I use their products every day in my vehicles. Check them out as well, and again, my code BYTESLA. Okay, we're almost to the charger. Just wanted to share that because if you can save some money, you might as well. And when we're getting here to the exit, I'll pull up and give you another update, and we'll see what it looks like. Right now, all chargers are available. This is a nice truck stop right off the interstate. I've stopped here many times, and looking forward to getting out, stretching my legs, using the facility, grabbing a fresh water out of the cooler there. There's Robbie. Say hi, Robbie. She's staring at me, or staring into space, whatever she does. And I'll be back with you here in just a minute. Okay, we are getting off the exit here for White Pine. Right over there is the Pilot truck stop. $5.37 a gallon for diesel, and $2.69 a gallon, $2.70 a gallon for the unleaded gasoline at the lowest octane. So the EVgo chargers here are not under a canopy, but they're right off the highway. Really easy to get to, and kind of a nice area there to pull in, back in, and get juiced up. So let's take a look at the stats for this leg. We're still preconditioning, 86 degrees out. We're making it here, it says at 12:27, and 446 watt-hours per mile, 216 miles on this leg, 3 hours and 11 minutes. And we are about to pull in. You'll see the chargers in blue right there in the corner by those trees. Hopefully you can see those right over here. And let's get pulled in here to the truck stop. They're right over here. It looks like we have a Ford Lightning just pulled in to plug in, and we'll pull into the other charger. And that was me blowing the horn because this car is choosing to sit there for 30 seconds or whatever they want to do. It's kind of ridiculous. And it looks like they may cause a collision. They're absolutely lost. Really, really a bad driver. Anyway, let's go ahead and get backed in, get plugged into this EVgo charger, and we'll get juicing up here in just a second. Okay, backing in right now. We'll get all the way back here. Okay, that seems about right. Let me grab my adapter and get plugged in, and we'll see what that looks like. I'll be right back with you. Okay, we've got payment authorized, connecting to your vehicle. And I could tell by the blue light up here on the canopy as I was pulling in, it showed me that this charger was available to charge. Of course, in the app, it showed all 4 handles. Right over here is the Lightning, and you got 2 plugs over here. We've got 2 plugs. It's matching voltage. Should pop up charging in just a second. And hopefully you can see that screen okay. We'll take a look and see what kind of speeds it jumps up to. Right out of the gate, 191 kilowatts. And lately I've seen it leveling out on these EVgo chargers. And I don't know if they're only charging at 400 kilowatt or 400 volt or what's going on, but you know, I should be able to pull 350 kilowatts on these chargers, and lately I've been power limited. I don't know if they've done that to my account because of my free charging plan, or if these chargers are just crippled or derated, but I've seen consistently bad charging on these, but yet when I plug into an Iona, I get full Iona speed. Yeah, kind of crazy. Nonetheless, no sense in unplugging. My charging would slow down anyway as it fills up. But once again, another derated charging session here with GM Energy, EVgo, Pilot Flying J. Something's going on, and it's kind of concerning. I think what I'll do is tomorrow I'll hit an Electrify America or Rivian charger or some other 800 volt charging provider to see, you know, if I still get the 300 plus kilowatts that I should be able to get, or, you know, well over 250. We'll probably hit some Tesla chargers along the way. You know what? We'll see. I mean, this is fine. It's not that big of a deal. We've already put for almost 5 kilowatt hours in a minute and a half, so it'll do just fine. It's just strange that we're not seeing the high speeds that I'm used to. And it could be, you know, these cables are old, the connectors are old. Of course, my adapter's fine. I can try my other adapter, but we'll see what happens. So I changed charging posts from the left side of the charger to the right side of the charger because when I came back to the vehicle and unlocked it, it stopped charging. Plugged in, and I'm still getting the charging rate limited by charging station. This station, historically, every time I'm here with any of my Teslas, when I lock the vehicle, when I come back and the vehicle unlocks, it stops charging. I have no idea why EVgo does that, but it's only been at this station. I think I had it happen at one other station, but I haven't had it happen in a long time, and it just did it again. It's some weird interoperability software thing, whatever. Now, here's the good news. I'm up to about 40%. My charging rate at 40% on this thing's less than 200 kilowatts, so now I'm getting the maximum speed the vehicle can accept, so I'm good to go. But while I was sitting here for the last roughly 8 minutes, 8-9 minutes, it was charging at a slower speed than this vehicle's capable of. So, you know, does that add a couple of minutes? Absolutely. Now, here's the advantage. I'm running on free juice. The reason why I'm charging at these EVgo's, I have free charging until July of this year. It's June. That runs out in just a few weeks. And I had it for 2 years. When I bought my Cadillac Lyriq in July of 2024, I had that vehicle less than 6 months. I got rid of it. Absolutely horrible EV, wonderful vehicle. Horrible EV for road trips. It was great around town. It was wonderful. Charging was fine at home. When I took it on a road trip, it fell apart. It would overheat after one stop and only pull about 50 kilowatts. It was into the dealership a dozen or so times, over and over and over. I can't remember how many times, 6, 8, whatever. They were working on a buyback. Cadillac corporate reached out and talked about buying it back. Then they backed out of it. Long story short, I sold it to the dealer, took a bit of a loss, got out of it. So happy to have gotten rid of it. Absolutely loved the car. Beautiful car. Amazing driving, beautiful inside and out. I loved it. But I ended up buying my EQS for less, and it's fully loaded, $144,000 car, and it's been totally amazing. So I'm glad to have gotten rid of the Lyriq, glad to have the Cybertruck, and glad to have the EQS instead. But yeah, that was just a bad experience. But here's the good news. I had two options when I bought that vehicle. Do I take the free level 2 charger with installation at my house? I already have 3 of those in my garages at my house. Or do I take 2 years of free EVgo? I took the 2 years. I've charged like 7,000 kilowatt hours, 7 megawatt hours of energy at 60 cents kilowatt hour. I'm over $4,200 of free charging that I've taken on at these Pilot Flying J's over the last 2 years. So much so that they reached out and suspended my account thinking I was a rideshare driver because of the amount of charging I do and the amount of vehicles I have. And I reached out and explained absolutely not. I travel extensively. I own vehicles, I own properties in multiple states, and they reactivated my account. Crazy stuff. Anyway, we're still here. The girls are going to use the restroom, and I'm going to keep charging, and we'll figure out our miles and how much we need to get to our destination. I'll be back with you shortly. You can see how quickly the Tesla charging curve drops. Over 40%, this thing kind of sucks. It's at 163 kilowatts at 45%. So be back with you shortly. Well, the girls are still in using the facilities, grabbing a snack, whatever they're doing. There's Robbie. She's all chilling out. Here's Ella. She's all chilling out. Oh, window switch disabled in pet mode. I guess I can cut pet mode off. I bumped it with my elbow there. Let's turn pet mode off. Get the air blowing back like normal. We've got it, by the way, on manual and mid-level and ground level so that Robbie has air down there. Anyway, tons of room in the Cybertruck for all of us and all the baggage and luggage and et cetera, et cetera. Absolutely love that. We've only got 39 minutes, 38 miles to go. 45% state of charge upon arrival. We've been here about 20 minutes. It's still ripping along. You can hear the HVAC fans ripping. Let's check and see if we got any error messages. Window switch, window switch. Charging equipment not ready. That's where it failed charging. When the truck unlocked, it stopped charging. Crazy. Again, same issue I had well over a year ago with this same charger. Super rare event. Anyway, 117 kilowatts at 60%, 20 minutes remaining to 80. I believe I have it set to 80, do I? Let's take a look. Yep. And we're gonna go ahead and continue juicing until they get here, and we're gonna take off and head to the hotel and get there between 1:30 and 2 p.m. I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, I'm about to unplug here at the EVgo. You can see the interstate's right there. I'm right behind the dispenser, number 2. Of course, it's D-rated. Let's go ahead and get unplugged and get back on the road. And let's take a look at our charging speed. 93 kilowatts at 66%. We've been here, add 9 minutes to that. We've been here 26 minutes. The girls just got back in the truck. That's how long it took us. We put on 40 kilowatt hours of energy. Let's hit stop charging, end session. This thing will go white. And I'm gonna get unplugged and hit the road. I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, 88 degrees, 106, beautiful skies here, riding through Tennessee. Got juiced up and back on the road. Got 25 minutes, 24 miles to go. You can see we're at 452 watt hours per mile, which is really good for 11 minutes and 13 miles. After a DC fast charging session, the battery's super, super hot, and we run very inefficient. And we are running along at highway speeds here on Interstate 40, which we'll be on for the next day or so. I think I mentioned tomorrow I've got meetings in Nashville, so we'll be headed to Nashville tomorrow. Not a very far drive, just a couple hours tomorrow. And then the rest of the drive back to Texas those next couple of days. So it'll be a long one. And let's take a look at the trip information on the DFW trip. Overall here today, we have driven 230 miles, 447 watt hours per mile. And I'm pretty pleased with that compared to the trip on the way to Roanoke, Virginia, where we drove 1,346 miles at 430 watt hours per mile. So a little less efficient, but of course we've been climbing elevation. Now, we were charged up pretty well. We were there, I think we said 25, 26 minutes total, and that was the amount of time it took us. The vehicle was charged plenty, and of course, typical Tesla charging curve, it slowed way down as the battery filled up. Looks like we're gonna arrive with over 50% on the battery. I will ask the valets to plug it in overnight. Hopefully we can get a full tank. If not, we'll still be sitting in the mid-40s, and we can juice up once we get out of town on the way to Nashville. Not a big deal. I did not look at the hotel in Nashville. It has EV charging. Normally I only pick hotels that have EV charging, so unsure what the parking is at that place. That's a hotel I've never stayed at before. It's called the Tempo Hotel in Nashville. I believe it's owned by Hilton. We'll see what that looks like when we get there tomorrow, but once again, I'll plan to juice up the vehicle as much as I can. We'll make at least one charging stop tomorrow on the way over there during that couple-hour ride, and there's tons of charging options coming into Nashville. So I think I'm going to try to hit another EVgo and see if I can get proper charging speeds off one of these things on this trip back. It's interesting how each stop has been limited by them, and I think it's been a long time since I've seen them put out the type of juice that, you know, last time I remember was in Oklahoma, where I saw 354 or 356 kilowatts at an EVgo, and that was near Tulsa, Oklahoma. Since then, these things have been pretty well derated. I've had quite a few issues with EVgo. So, candidly, when my free charging runs out, I'm done using them unless it's an emergency. I'll stick to Tesla and other networks, and of course, as Iona builds out their network, that'll be my number one focus. Their pricing is very, very good and super reliable, and again, they're a new system. Let's see how they maintain them, but they've been very, very impressive. Now, you'll notice up here on the left, you'll see where it says there's a Tesla charger here in Sevierville, 24 stalls, 250 kilowatt, 18 of them available. That is the Buc-ee's for Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, Gatlinburg. It's off the Sevierville exit. And there's an Electrify America right up here on the right that I've charged at many more times than I charged over there. It's right up there at that Harley Davidson dealer up on the hill. Usually at least one of the four plugs are out of service and have been for years. Kind of crazy. And there's a hotel up there that has blink charging that I've stayed at. I think it's a Fairfield Inn, if I recall. Yeah, I don't see it listed. I have it stated that Holiday Inn. It's the one right near there. Anyway, that exit is Kodak, Tennessee, but they call that Bucky's the Sevierville one. So anyway, we're only 19 miles out, 21 minutes. Still looking good on efficiency overall, and pushing 90 degrees. Absolutely beautiful day, 1:10 p.m. Looking forward to getting this leg of the trip done, and headed there to probably grab a late lunch and then head off to meetings. And then I've got a late dinner meeting tonight. So what do we have? Roughly 20 miles left. That'll be about a 250 mile day. Super, super easy, barely even a trip. And I will be back with you here in just a little bit. Okay, it is 90 degrees out, 1:20 p.m. We're just under 10 minutes away. Well, it says right at 10 minutes. Should be a little less than that. Only 7 miles to go. 435 watt-hours per mile on this leg. Really, really good efficiency after coming off a DC fast charging session. So, 32,871 miles on this machine, and 31 miles driven in this last leg. Just like I said, about 25 minutes. So in 4 miles, we get on this James White Parkway, and then we take that right downtown Knoxville to the Tennessean Hotel. See, FSD is doing its job, changing lanes, navigating through traffic, and getting us there safely. Take a look at the overall charging stats one last time for today. On the DFW return trip, 445 watt-hours per mile, 248 miles with just a few miles to go. So just over 250 miles today, 159 miles left on the pack. Now, EPA rated is 175, real world 159. So not too far off, actually. But yeah, it's been a really good drive today. As you can see, FSD's driven us the entire way. You'll see up here, 33 mile streak, which is the entire time since we left the charger. I just touch the screen, start self-driving, and off we go. So I'll show you what it looks like as we get to the hotel, and then that'll end the clip for today. We'll start off again tomorrow morning, headed over to Nashville, Tennessee for that short drive. More details to follow. Okay, we are off the exit, driving through Knoxville, headed towards the Knoxville Convention Center, and just riding along here. Got to turn on Henley in just a few minutes, and we'll see what that looks like. We are 0.4 of a mile away. It is 1:27. Let's take a look at the final trip stats on this leg. Very efficient, 418 watt-hours per mile, 38 miles, 32 minutes, and again, just 0.4 of a mile away. So that is the total overall stat update for today. That's that weird hesitation I'm talking about with this latest software version. It kind of jerked the wheel there just a little bit while it's figuring out what to do. And we're going to turn left at this intersection and cut back that way. The hotel's right over there. If you see that Marriott, it's attached to that Marriott hotel. So yeah, I'm going to kind of use this as my wrap up for today. We'll get here to the hotel. I'll show you what that looks like, and then we're done with this leg of the trip. Successful first leg in just a few minutes. The car is not wanting to go. I'm having to press the pedal because we were on a green arrow and it was just sitting there. Okay, and we are going to cut right here to turn right at this light, and this is the Tennessean right here on the right. Again, it's attached to this Marriott hotel. You'll see the entrance in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and press the pedal to edge up. Got one car going, and we should be able to go. Okay, and then our entrance is down here. That first entrance was the Marriott. This second entrance right here is the Tennessean. and we're going to go ahead and get checked in. And I'll be back with you tomorrow with another video update. Thanks for following along. Have a good day, everyone. Okay, we're just getting ready to depart the Tennessean Hotel here in Nashville, Tennessee. And it is 82 degrees, 9:04 a.m. I'm sorry, the Tennessean Hotel in Knoxville, Tennessee. We're headed to Nashville to the Tempo Hotel. ETA, probably about noon to 12:30. I would say 12:30. We're going to stop and charge. Now, it's saying Crossville. I think I want to go to the EVgo in Gordonsville, which is a little past Crossville. Here we go, 114 miles. We've got 68%. The chargers went down at the hotel. They got us a little bit of charge, and then the chargers went down. So, unfortunately, I do not have a full tank, but we were going to stop anyway. It's a bit of a drive. Says we'll get there in 2 hours with 22% to the Pilot EV charging station in Gordonsville, Tennessee, which is right along our route, as you can see, and on the other side of the highway, but no big deal. So that's the plan. And then from there, it's just a little ways, maybe an hour to the hotel. So let's go ahead and hit the road, get going. Taking a look at the efficiency starting out this morning, 443 watt-hours per mile on the overall DFW trip, 254 miles starting out today. And of course, we're on the current drive now, and we've got a total of 32,878 miles on the Cybertruck. So let's hit the road and let's get going. Okay, I have been on calls, but I've got good news, 412 watt-hours per mile. Now we're climbing elevation right now, so it'll get a little bit worse, but we've been driving for 38 minutes, 40 miles. We've got an hour and 18 minutes to go, 89 miles away, 21% estimated state of charge upon arrival here in Gordonsville, Tennessee at the Pilot EV charging station. It is 82 out, it's 9:44 a.m. I've got 53% left on the battery currently, and it's been a smooth drive so far. Let's take a look at, and actually I can click here. So we're down to less than 440 watt-hours per mile on the overall DFW trip, about 300 miles on the way back. So making good progress. We're just riding along, enjoying the drive here in the Cybertruck, headed to that Tempo Hotel in Nashville, Tennessee for this evening. And as always, the truck's driving me. Here's the perspective, and super happy to be riding along. I'll be back with you here in a little bit with another update. Okay, so we made a modification to the plan. We're going to arrive to the Buc-ee's in Crossville, Tennessee on Genesis Road with about 40%, way high state of charge on the battery. We're only 22 miles from there. It'll be about 20 minutes. That is where my daughter wanted to stop to, she loves Buc-ee's, wants to stop to grab a bite. Everybody's kind of hungry. We haven't eaten anything yet today. And we thought we're just going to call an audible. So we're going to end up doing some Tesla charging today. And there is a Mercedes-Benz charger there. If I was a lower state of charge, I would absolutely plug into that to see what my charging curve would look like. But as it stands, arriving at 40%, I'm going to be below 200 kilowatts. I'm just going to plug into the Tesla supercharger, get some free electrons because I do have credits on my Tesla account, and then head down the road to Nashville, Tennessee. So let's take a look at how far that is. So from Buc-ee's to the hotel is just under 2 hours. So we'll be about 2 more hours after the stop. We may stop again and do a little splash in the vehicle before we get to the hotel, but it just depends. It says if we get to Buc-ee's and we're there 15 minutes, it always takes longer than that. It'll take 25 minutes. We'll arrive at the hotel with 25%. So technically we would not have to stop again. So we'll see. We'll play it by ear, but now we're headed downhill. You'll see my consumption really tanked going up this mountain. But now we're headed down the other side. You'll see this little green bar over here. We're regenerating energy. And you'll see these numbers dropping pretty steadily here as we head down and descend into the valley as we head across to Crossville, Tennessee. So notice those numbers continually dropping off. All right, I'll be back with you here as we get to Buc-ee's in the next 20 minutes. Okay, so the time zone just changed. We are now at 9 a.m. Central Time, And so we've been driving a little under an hour, 53 minutes, 471 watt-hours per mile. We're up and down elevation here. 9.6 miles away, 10 minutes, 40% state of charge upon arrival to the Buc-ee's in Crossville. Then we're headed to the Tempo by Hilton, Nashville. But we are going to stop at a park, and I can't remember, I think it's Centennial Park. We're going to get that plugged into the navigation here after this stop. And I may or may not hit Gordonsville or another charging stop along the way. We're absolutely no rush, arriving earlier than expected. Again, I forgot about the time zone, but that's excellent. So, anyway, you'll see there we're 120 miles currently from Nashville, and making good progress. Beautiful driving day. No issues so far. FSD's doing a great job, and I will update you shortly. Okay, well, again, up and down this elevation, the consumption definitely took a hit, 480 watt-hours per mile. We are, as you can see, navigating to the charger. We're on a 66.7 mile streak, which is this entire driving leg. We're going to see how it does getting off the exit, backing us into a charging stall, or do I have to intervene? We'll see what happens. Buc-ee's can be crazy busy. The good news is it's only 9 a.m. It is a Thursday. Hopefully it won't be as bad, but we will see. It's this exit coming up, and I see car after car getting off the exit, and usually these things are a madhouse. They are a destination gas station. They're truly super nice. It's just the amount of extra traffic and time and everything else. And usually when I'm road tripping, I'm trying to, be efficient and make good time. They just slow me down. But we have time today. It's fine. And we're going to stop and enjoy that particular stop. So, coming up to the exit now. FSD's doing a great job. And over there is Buc-ee's. Tons and tons of gas pumps, DEF, diesel, as well as electric charging stations. If I recall, this one has a Mercedes-Benz charging network, as well as the Tesla charging network. There's a fuel tanker delivering to them. We've got two Cybertrucks over there charging. One of them's wrapped. And looks like a couple of other Teslas. And I'm taking over because I'm going to back into these chargers down here, kind of away from everybody else. So let's go ahead and get backed in. So see, based on preference, parking preference, so we're going to call this parking, I chose a different option. I can hear the HVAC fans ripping as this thing's getting ready for maximum charging speed. There we go. Let's get plugged in and let's see what kind of speeds we get at 40%. These do have the magic dock. You can see the CCS adapter up in there. And how you do that is you hold down the handle on the Tesla charger, you hold down the button for a few seconds, and then you push up and pull down and the CCS adapter pops out. So we're going green. Let's take a look on the screen. Okay, we're up to 150, 190, it should be just under 200 kilowatts. Popped right up, juicing perfectly. And I will be back with you here shortly. As I'm walking into Buc-ee's, I'll just kind of show you. Absolutely crazy. The thing is, it's actually not that busy this morning, but it's clothes, it's shopping, it's food, it's everything through here. Absolutely wild. There's beef jerky, tortilla factory, burritos, and tacos, chicken, you name it. Buc-ee's has about everything. People absolutely love it. I'll be back with you here in a minute. So I just finished my Buc-ee's shopping, and I got 2 bags of stuff. I picked up some stuff for the girls. They're headed in there now. The thing is, you never get out of Buc-ee's for cheap either. There's so much stuff. But now we have food and snacks for the rest of the trip for the next couple of days, and the girls are really happy that we stopped. Over here, the Mercedes Chargers, unfortunately, they're not the Alpatronics, they're the charge points. No sense in paying, I think they're closer to 50 cents a kilowatt hour. Iona in the 30s, Tesla in the 30s, so no sense in paying that, but you can see those chargers over there. And over here on my left are the Tesla superchargers. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk back to the car. I'll get settled in and I'll give you an update. We'll see how long we've been charging and what the current charging speed and state of charge is. I will be back with you here shortly. Here are the Tesla chargers, by the way. Vehicles constantly rotating in and out. And there's a Cybertruck. And you see the EV base running boards on that monster. Love those, love the running boards. I'm guessing it's been 10 minutes, but we'll see the tail of the tape. I'll be right back with you. So we plugged in at 9:09. We've been here 16 minutes. We're still pulling 94 kilowatts at 70%, and charge limit is bumped up to 100%. What we should do is set limit here, because every time I come to this one, it's gonna take longer. So, honestly, at 70%, 94 kilowatts isn't terrible. It's the curve in between, like 35, 40% up to 70 that could be so much better. But, right now we would arrive to that Pilot Flying J with 50%, throw a little bit of juice on, and then head to Centennial Park and then on to the Tempo. So I may do that. I'm going to keep it in there for now. It's right en route. Let's check the Tesla supercharger options in between. And we've got quite a few of those. Quite a few. The Mount Juliet I've been to many times. That Cracker Barrel one. Oh, actually, that's a 500 kilowatt charger. That was a 325 last time I was there. They've upgraded that Percy Priest Drive charger. That's cool. So yeah, I'll probably do that. It'll break it up, give everybody a chance to stretch your legs before we get to the park. We'll see how we go and how it goes, but charging up just fine. Let's take a look at the energy cost. You may have seen it when I pulled it up. It's 37 cents a kilowatt hour. So far, it's cost us about $14.50. Again, using my charging credits, which is super nice. So all in all, we are here and we'll get ready to take off here shortly. I'll be back with you. Okay, so we are riding. We charged up to 80%. We've been driving for 6 minutes, 546 watt-hours per mile. We were there entirely too long, but so we left there about 9:34, and we plugged in at 9:09. So a little bit of a longer charging session, but that's how long it took us in Buc-ee's. Everybody's having breakfast now, and I'm going to have dessert, a banana pudding. Never had it. Everybody talks about how great it is. We're going to give that a shot. As FSD drives me, I can sit back, relax, and enjoy a little bit of that treat as we head towards this Pilot charging station, arriving with around 50%, 60% actually, super high state of charge. We do not need to stop there, but I figure until then, we may need to take another bio break, throw away some trash, get the car organized before we get to Centennial Park, which will be another hour down the road. So we'll see. It's 9:41 a.m. arriving to that EV Go if we decide to stop there at 10:32. If we skip it, because it doesn't know I'm charging there, if we skip it, we'll get to Centennial Park with 40, get to the hotel with like 39. So we got plenty of juice to skip it. We'll just see how we're feeling here in the next half hour or so and go from there. Anyway, I will be back with you shortly. And by the way, we're going to turn 33,000 miles on the odometer here in just about 7 miles. I'll be back shortly. Okay, so we are rolling along here. It is 10:11 a.m., 88 degrees out. We have about an hour and 10 minutes remaining, 72 miles, 40% estimated state of charge upon arrival. Amazing efficiency even at highway speeds on this leg so far, 386 watt-hours per mile. Last 37 minutes, 42 miles. And it shows we're going to arrive with around 40% to Centennial Park in a little over an hour. So we are making good progress. I will report back here in just a little bit, but all in all, it's been a smooth ride here this morning. So we did decide to skip the charger in Gordonsville. We are 56 minutes, 56 miles out from Centennial Park. You'll see we'll jump on 440 west in about 47 miles. 90 degrees out now, 10:24 a.m. It is hot out. 374 watt-hours per mile. Been driving for 59 miles in 50 minutes. Just over 33,000 miles on the odometer. FSD's doing its job. It's been driving. You can see the driving streak up there. Let's take a look at our trip data. And here you go. The DFW trip now is down to 436 watt-hours per mile, about 437 versus we'll call it 430 on the way up. So we're catching up. Now, as we get towards Texas, we will run some inefficient stretches, so it may get worse, and we'll see how that goes. Tomorrow will be the bulk of the drive, and then the final day will be just a few hours, probably from Texarkana into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So we'll see how it happens. Let's take a look here. 172 miles of projected range. You see that up there, and then over here we have 195 is the EPA rated. So obviously that's pretty interesting. Let's pull up the map view. And we're going to keep riding along. Beautiful, beautiful driving day. Couldn't be better. And again, the car is driving us fully. Okay, here's a trip update. We're about to come into Nashville, passing on the outskirts near the Mount Juliet area right now. You can see we're in Lebanon, Tennessee. 395 watt-hours per mile. Been driving an hour and 12 minutes. We only got 32 minutes to go. And should arrive around 11:18 a.m. to Centennial Park. Arriving with around 41% on the battery. This has been a super efficient stretch. Should be closing in. Yeah, look at that, 437 watt-hours per mile, closing in on that Roanoke efficiency, which was 430. So really overall pleased with that level of efficiency. I am anxious to see what the 2026, 2027 Cybertrucks do as far as efficiency. Are they good? Are they better? And also the base model. It'll be interesting to see. I've heard the new ones are better efficiency-wise. I haven't seen it yet, though, so time will tell. We're at 50% on the battery right now, and headed that way, enjoying the drive. I'll be back with you here shortly. So, at the last exit, some emergency vehicles entered the highway. You got emergency vehicles going in the other direction as well, multiple. This is the third one going in the other direction. And if you can see in the camera here, I'm going to move it over here to enlarge it, you can see some emergency vehicles in the far right lane back there. Now, if they got close to me, they're not running at full highway speeds like I am. If they got close to me, the Cybertruck will pull off, put the four ways on, and absolutely get out of the way. Because they're not, it's not intervening. Anyway, we're at 402 watt-hours per mile, still riding along at a good clip. We're only 18 miles, 21 minutes from Centennial Park, an arrival time of 11:16 with 41% on the battery. And currently we've been driving an hour and 20 minutes, 96 miles. So 91 degrees out, 10:55 a.m. Absolutely beautiful driving day. And I will be back with you here as we get to Centennial Park. It's a short one today, but I appreciate you following along. Okay, so we just split off onto 440. And we're going to wrap around the bottom of Nashville and head over to the west side to Centennial Park. Lots of traffic going. You see how busy it is, and of course we're just on FSD for the last 107 miles. So, yep, we're at 398 watt-hours per mile. An hour and 29 minutes now. Just about 11 minutes left. 7.5 miles. So, making good progress here. It is still hot out. It's 92 degrees. And it is 11:04 a.m. So be there very shortly. I'll keep you updated. Okay, we are in downtown Nashville. We already finished Centennial Park. About to pull into the hotel. And let's take a look at the final trip stats here. 440 miles, 437 watt-hours per mile. Until tomorrow, I'll be back with you as we head towards Texarkana, Texas from Nashville, Tennessee. I hope to get this plugged into a charger overnight. We'll see how that works out. But tonight we'll be in Nashville, Tennessee. Beautiful downtown area, as you can see. And I look forward to riding along with you as we leave Nashville tomorrow morning. Okay, just getting ready to take off. 85 degrees, 6:22 a.m. I will update you here as I get things plugged in. I'll be back with you shortly, getting the car loaded up just now. Okay, so we are on the road. We'll call it a 6:30 a.m. departure. First stop showing Memphis, Tennessee. I'm not sure if that's going to be the best charger. I try not to stop in the middle of cities. 203 miles away, 22% state of charge upon arrival. It's 84 degrees out, very, very humid. And we are starting out this morning with 33,066 miles on the odometer. Let's see how it goes. We're going to jump out here and get on 40 West. And FSD is doing the job. I will update you here in a little bit. Okay, been rolling along for just a little bit now. 24 minutes, 24 miles, and 470 watt-hours per mile. Not the best efficiency starting out, but that'll improve with time. I forgot to mention I was at 100% state of charge. I got filled up at the hotel. Showed 321 miles of range, which originally showed 325. So this thing continues to be amazing as far as battery degradation goes. As of right now, I'm planning to go to the EVgo charging station in West Memphis, Tennessee, just on the west side of Memphis. Should arrive with about 20% in 2 hours and 45 minutes. I may end up stopping sooner for a bio break. We'll see how that goes, and I will keep you updated. Nice day driving, a little bit dreary. Hopefully we don't experience rain, but so far so good. Let's see what happens. So the truck and FSD is doing a great job. We are going to stop early with 53% on the battery in about 1 hour and 76 miles. We're going to do a driver switch, so someone else is going to take over driving for a bit. I've got to take care of some stuff, so I will do that while they drive, and we'll probably jump on to that West Memphis, Tennessee EVgo, which will be another, I think, maybe hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes after this one. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you posted. But 457 watt-hours per mile, 45 minutes, 49 miles. And let's take a look at the overall DFW trip. 440 watt-hours per mile. And we've driven 490 miles. So making good progress overall. It's been raining just a little bit this morning. You can probably see it there on the windshield. Hopefully that doesn't get too crazy and we have an uneventful drive today. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we are 16 minutes out, 17 miles from the exit. Preconditioning for fast charging. We're going to arrive with around 53%. It's 82 degrees out, almost 8 a.m. Been driving for about an hour and 30 minutes, 447 watt-hours per mile. 60% on the battery right now, and we are just riding along. The efficiency could be a little better. We've hit some rain in multiple spots, not too terrible. But overall, that's not bad so far for the day. So we'll see how it goes after this charging stop. More details to follow. Okay, we're about to get off the interstate in 1.5 miles, and it's directly off the interstate is the Pilot EV charging station, arriving with 53% as predicted, 446 watt-hours per mile. Been driving an hour and 46 minutes, 122 miles. 8:10 a.m. 81 degrees. So we're gonna do a quick driver switch, plug in, probably use the facilities, grab a refreshment, whatever. And I may not be able to show you the charging session because we're trying to keep moving. So I will update you here as we get back on the road with some more information. But yeah, this will be another one of those EV goes, and I'll let you know how that goes here very, very shortly. Okay, we'll show you real quick. I did get plugged in here. We're backed in. This is the EVgo GM Energy Pilot Flying J. And I'm hearing things clicking, so we're matching voltage, and we should be charging in just a second. So here we are at 53%, ramping right up. Should be under 200 kilowatts, but shouldn't be an issue at all. Okay, sitting right at 163 kilowatts. That is perfect. I'm really not sure why it's showing an estimated cost, because that should be 0, but hey, we'll see what happens. I'll be back with you shortly. So we're still here getting situated. It's been 10 minutes. We're still pulling 93 kilowatts at 70%. Started at 53%. Nothing great, but hey, we've added 21 kilowatt hours of energy. We're going to keep charging while we finish getting the Cybertruck loaded up. And you can see my EV-based charging adapter there ripping along. Anyway, I'll be back with you here in a bit. Okay, here's a brief update. It is pouring rain, not great efficiency, 485 watt-hours per mile. Been driving 16 minutes, 19 miles, and we will be stopping, just based on the rain and everything, in about an hour, 73 miles with around 39%. That's the West Memphis EVgo we were headed to originally. We're going to go ahead and hit that one here in just a little bit. I will keep you updated. Okay, so here we are. Been driving an hour and 5 minutes, 78 miles, 432 watt-hours per mile. Really good efficiency. My daughter's driving, 89 degrees out, 9:35 a.m. We are preconditioning the battery for fast charging. Headed to the EVgo on West Memphis and arriving with 41%. Let's take a look at the overall trips. On the DFW trip, 438 watt-hours per mile versus going up the other way, 430. So tracking very similar, and 644 miles so far on the way back to DFW. So looking good, no issues, smooth. Some weather for sure, some heavy rain and storms throughout. Hopefully we're ahead of those. We'll see how it goes. I'll be back with you here in just a bit as we get to the charger. Okay, here is that pyramid that I've been saying for years that I'm going to stop at. This is the Memphis Pyramid. I really want to visit that someday. Bass Pro Shops, Ducks Unlimited, has a whole history to it. Really, really cool. And just one of these days, you can look, pretty busy. Definitely got to check it out. Anyway, we're crossing the Mississippi River, and you will see up here, we are passing into Arkansas, Arkansas. So you'll see the green sign up overhead on the bridge for the Mississippi River, which is right out this way. And welcome to Arkansas, the natural state. Buckle up for safety. So we are almost there. 5 miles out from the charging stop, 427 watt-hours per mile. Really good efficiency. Let's take a look at the overall again. 437.6 overall. So yeah, pretty pleased with that. Been a good run, and we're almost there. Been driving an hour and 15 minutes. So we'll get plugged in. We don't need juice, obviously we're at 41, but we're gonna stop, switch out. I'll take over driving again for a while. Maybe we'll grab a snack, use the facilities, and hit the road. I'm not sure how far we're gonna go today. We'll see how it goes. I got a little second wind, and we'll see how far that carries us, but more details to follow. Okay, we just plugged in at 40%, jumped right up to 203 kilowatts, been plugged in for 25 seconds using that EV base adapter. We are good to go. We're gonna use the facilities. By the way, you got an Acura over there charging. Right here's the Flying J. Charged at this one many times in West Memphis. I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, I've been charging here for a few minutes. I'm at 57%. pulling in 135 kilowatts, and we'll be getting on the road here shortly. 88 degrees, 10 a.m., and I'm going to update the next stop in just a minute. Okay, we're still sitting here, not ready to depart yet. We're at 72% and 92 kilowatts. So we're going to make a quick pit stop at the Golden Arches and then head on to the Pilot EV Go in Benton, Arkansas. Let me remove all charging stuff to see if we can make it. It says right now if we go, we'll make it with 12%. There's always some bailout options along the way at Tesla Superchargers. We'll see how it goes, but right now we're using and absorbing that free EV Go charging that we have until July 27th, I believe, of this year. So right now I'm just taking advantage of as many free electrons as possible. I'm going to shut off the satellite view because I like the less cluttered view. And that is the plan. So still waiting for everybody to get loaded up, and then we'll take off. But we put on approximately 39 kilowatt hours of energy in this little bit of time. Again, it's taking us longer than it's taking the car. So we'll get going here momentarily, and I'll be back with you. Okay, we've been here a while, 23 minutes, still pulling 89 kilowatts, 79% state of charge. And that's not bad at that high state of charge. Again, it's the curve in between is the problem. Anyway, let me get unplugged and I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, so we are through the storm areas. It's 89 degrees out now, 11:11 a.m. and 490 watt hours per mile. Terrible efficiency. We're running along at highway speeds. Very, very windy. I don't know if you can hear it, but lots of wind in here right now, or wind on the outside. You can just hear the wind noise. 33,342 miles on this thing. Kind of crazy. So I've been driving for 55 minutes, 60 miles. Got about an hour and 20 minutes left. 90 miles. On the DFW trip, we've lost a little efficiency on this leg, 441 watt hours per mile, 717 miles. So making tremendous progress, getting closer. I will keep you updated here as we go. All in all, the self-driving is doing very well, and happy that I have it. It's making the trip much easier. Okay, so we're about 30 miles from Little Rock, Arkansas, where we'll get on 30 West. That's where the 40-30 split is. And 47 minutes, 52 miles, arriving with about 18% to the EV Go charger in Benton, Arkansas. 90 degrees out, it's warmed way up. Wind has died down a little bit, so it's a little quieter in here. 498 watt hours per mile though. Of course, we're riding along at highway speeds. Been driving an hour and 30 minutes and 97.4 miles. On the overall Roanoke trip, 444 watt hours per mile and a total of 755 miles. So making good progress. We were tied up. There was some type of disabled vehicle along the side of the road, and traffic was backed up a couple of miles just a little bit ago. We lost maybe 5 to 10 minutes, so that put us a little behind, but we are making progress now, so hope to be there to the next charger in just a few minutes. Okay, we are in the Little Rock, Arkansas area, just getting ready to jump on 30. FSD's doing the job, 486 watt hours per mile. We have been traveling along at highway speeds, an hour and 54 minutes, 126 miles. And it looks like we've got 22 minutes, 23 miles to go, arriving with around 17%. So we'll see how the charging is. Obviously, if you watched the trip going up, and maybe some on this trip, we've had some charging challenges with EV Go, maxing out around 200 kilowatts. We should be able to pull over 300 kilowatts arriving at this state of charge. So let's see what happens. We've had a lot of issues with their stations being limited, so it'll be interesting. But we'll be there very shortly, and I will update you as we arrive to this EV Go in Benton, Arkansas. Okay, we're about to get off the exit here for the next charger. It's the Pilot EV charging. There it was on the exit sign. It's nice to see that. We are 1.6 miles away, 17% state of charge upon arrival. 2 minutes left. We have driven 147 miles, 2 hours and 12 minutes, 476 watt hours per mile. So it did get a little better here as we got back to normal on highway speeds, or lower highway speeds, I should say. And up here's our exit for Alcoa Road. Let me flip to my map facing up view, which is what I prefer versus the north up view. That's just nice to see the route overview, and when you're going through cities, you know, you're able to see different route options if you have to click them, if there's a traffic backup or whatever. Anyway, been to this one before. It's not far off the exit here. So we'll have to jump over a lane. And it should fall in right behind this minivan, in front of that pink, I think that was a Camaro behind us. By the way, it started preconditioning about 5 minutes out. So clearly there's another EV charging sign. That's interesting. So clearly the battery was pretty well heated up. And the pilot truck stop is right over there. Okay, we are about to turn in here, and I'm going to take over as we turn in because it will not back into these chargers. So let me just tap the brake, and we're going to pull right into the truck stop. Chargers are right over here to the right. Let's get back into one of these and see what kind of charging we can get. So we'll just back into this one. Looks like they're both working. Blue lights on top of both of them. Okay. And we should be good about right there. I'll get plugged in and I'll be right back with you. Okay, payment has been authorized. 2 of 3, checking cable safety. And next we'll see matching voltage. There are the power transformers. I love these stations for one big reason. You've got the trash cans with the squeegees. There are 2 350 kilowatt chargers here. Split 175. And it should click on here with matching voltage, and any second it'll flip over and show us what kind of speeds we can get. And here we go, ramping up. Keep it going. Once again, maxing out around 200 kilowatts. Super disappointing here with the EVGos. I don't know what's going on, but I have not seen the 300 plus kilowatt in some time on these. I don't know if they've changed something with the software or what's going on, but they're limiting out like a 400 kilowatt lower amperage charging station. So I don't know, we'll mess with that later, but I will be back with you here shortly. Okay, I'm about to unplug. Unfortunately, we had a problem. The charger over there completely went offline, but so did everything inside of the Pilot. The card readers, cash registers, whatever, everything kind of went down. The charger actually went offline. It turned red up top. It looked like it rebooted down. It's fine. But while it was doing that, I moved stalls, got plugged in, and started juicing up. So not sure how long it was on that one. I don't know, maybe 5 to 7 minutes. And then I moved over here. I'm still pulling 117 kilowatts. Next stop would be a Pilot EV charging station in Texarkana, which we would arrive there in about an hour and 38 minutes. It's 114 miles away. I'll arrive with around a 13% state of charge remaining. I should be good to go. I'm gonna let it juice up just for another minute. Let me throw this in pet mode. We'll go out and look at the stats and kind of figure out what's going on. So, yeah, I've had that charger over there crash before when I've charged here. And again, it was speed limited. This one ramped right up. I've been on this one now 9 minutes, 114 kilowatt hours. I'm up to 61%. And get rid of a little bit of trash here in the receptacle. And let's just watch this thing maybe get another percent. Just as a little buffer in case we hit rain or anything else. And let's go ahead and hit stop charge and session. This should go white. We'll get unplugged and I'll get on the road. Be back with you shortly. Okay, I'm back on the road again, 1:11 p.m. Been driving for 13 minutes, 13 miles, 478 watt-hours per mile. Riding along at highway speeds, exactly 100 miles to go. Exit 7, Texarkana. Arriving around 2:30 with 15% state of charge remaining upon arrival. So a nice little buffer. 56% on the battery right now. Everything looking good and just cruising along. So we will see how it goes as we continue on the path here to Texarkana. More details to follow. Okay, 80 degrees out, a little chilly, very overcast, not raining though, thank goodness. 1:56 p.m. We got 33% on the battery, arriving with about 16% in 36 minutes. So almost to the next stop. 462 watt-hours per mile. We've driven 72 miles in 58 minutes. So we're making really good progress, riding along at highway speeds. Cybertruck's doing a great job. It does look like we might be headed into some rain. We'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed it'll be uneventful and a smooth ride here on out. But we'll see what happens. I'll be back with you here shortly. However, I will show you quickly. We're at 445 watt-hours per mile, about 880 miles on the trip. 88 miles of projected range remaining compared to the 103 EPA. So you can see our consumption is definitely impacting that. We're not running energy efficient right now. Speed kills range. Okay, I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, we're getting off the exit here in half a mile, and it's right off the exit is another Flying J EV charging station, EVgo. 450 watt-hours per mile, hour and 30 minutes, 113 miles. We are making progress. It is just lightly sprinkling right now, not raining heavy. We'll keep our fingers crossed that continues. And here we are jumping off the exit. FSD has done a great job. I did have to disengage it for heavy traffic earlier, just about a mile and a half ago for a minute, and I did that. And now we are rolling. The chargers are over here on the right. I just took over because I'm gonna zip right in this entrance. Charged here many times, and we're gonna pull right back to these chargers and get plugged in. Both of them have blue lights on them. Let's go ahead and get plugged into this first one. Throw it in reverse, navigation reasons. And about right there should be fine. Let me get this plugged in and I'll be right back with you. 17% state of charge upon arrival, 114 miles. Okay, and we are plugged in. Starting to juice up here in just a second. Payment was authorized. I do have a plug-in charge activated with EVgo where you go on the app and type in your VIN number. First time you plug in, you have to authorize everything. Uh-oh, this is not good. Let me unplug and try again. Okay, it's trying again. It said payment authorized, kicked right over to checking cable safety. Man, I'm telling you, we have had some problems with the EVgo chargers for sure. Matching voltage, meaning it should start charging in just a second. And there we go. Now, let's see if we get any type of decent speeds. I highly doubt it. It'll probably level out just under 200 kilowatts like always. I'm going to hit an Iona next, and we're going to see if we can get real speeds. If it's a truck issue or if it's a charger issue, I'd be willing to bet it's a charger issue, but we will see. Time will tell. We are juicing. I'll be back with you here shortly. So the message saying that charging rate limited by charging station just went away at 38%. We're down, obviously the charging curve in the Cybertruck's tapering down. If I stay below 63 miles an hour, I can get there above 4% to the Iona in 107 miles. Now that's the Iona in Sulphur Springs. So what I'm doing is I'm getting juiced up. I'm going to be here, I don't know, maybe another 5 minutes. The girls just went in to get a refreshment and whatever. I just cleaned the cameras on the Cybertruck, so we will be good to go. As soon as they get back, we'll take off. But yeah, we're still pulling 185 kilowatts. This thing actually charges okay up to about 40%. Then it drops off, and then from 70% on, it's not terrible. It's just that middle charging curve. If it just held, 250 kilowatts up to 60 or 70%, this thing would be a beast. But nonetheless, we're getting there. Next stop, I want to hit this Iona Rechargery in Sulphur Springs, Texas. Let's just take a look here. And you'll see there it is in Sulphur Springs. It's right off I-40. I mean, it is directly off the exit. Right over here is an EVgo, so I'm going to pay. But I want to do that because I want to see what kind of speeds I can actually get on a proper 800 volt, 400 kilowatt charger, arriving with a fairly low state of charge. Let's see if the Cybertruck's having a charging problem, if they've changed the software. Something's going on, and I'm limited, and I'm almost convinced it's EVgo, and I think they're throttling me, honestly, based on my usage and probably based on my profile. I need to maybe shut off plug-in charge and activate it manually sometime and see if that works, like with a credit card or whatever. But anyway, I'm done with this in another month, so I'm probably not going to mess with it. Let's just see what happens at Iona, because this Cybertruck goes back into Tesla next week on Tuesday for several repeated issues of continued maintenance dilemmas. This will be trip number 11, and they are working on the buyback. We'll see what they do. I have not contacted anyone regarding lemon law yet. I may do that because there's a lot of stupid repeated issues. So the passenger seat they replaced, the lumbar's not working at all. This mirror is making a ton of noise, and that's some type of campaign they have. We got a ton of noise coming out of that mirror, and a handful of other issues as well. Oh, I got an error about the charging port needing replaced. I mean, it's just continued issues, but I'm going to buy another one. I love this thing, even though it's got issues. I've had plenty of high-end vehicles like BMW 7 Series, Mercedes S-Class. I've had issues with almost all of them. I'm very OCD. I want my cars to be right. And as you all know, if you've watched my videos, I travel a ton. And by the way, if you enjoy my videos, click like, click subscribe. I mentioned it early on. And if you're going to buy a Tesla, feel free to use my referral code. And if you need any of those accessories, look for all that stuff in the description of the video. There's links. So I'll be back with you shortly. We should have plenty of juice until the ladies get back to the car, and we'll take off and see how far we can go. Okay, everybody's in the car and we're ready to go. We are 107 miles to the next stop, arriving with around 10% to the Iona Rechargery. There's an EVgo right across the street if we have any problems. Hour and 33 minutes, 107 miles. Should arrive around 4:20, and we're at 54% right now. We put on 44 kilowatt hours, and let's go ahead and get unplugged and get on the road. Let's take a look at the stats. Of course, we had a failure on charging handle number 1, Didn't get any energy there. We've been plugged in for 15 minutes. Let's call it 16 right now. 48 kilowatt hours, sitting at 54%, only pulling 137. That's what I'm talking about. Could be so much better. Let's hit stop charge. Let's end the session. This will go white. I'm unplugging, and I'll be back with you shortly. All right, well, here's an update. 14 minutes in since last stop. We're down to 438 watt hours per mile. It's leveled out from DC fast charging fairly quickly, actually. 304, like I said, 83 degrees, 49% left on the battery, arriving with around 13%. So we're going to run along at highway speeds, let it use up what it uses up with the battery, and we'll see what we can do here at Iona. Hopefully we get a good charging session there. If not, we'll pop across the street to EVgo. Shouldn't be a big deal. And yeah, we'll kind of see what happens. I'll be back with you here in just a little bit. But at that point, I think I've got roughly 2 hours to home from there. So the goal is to make it home today. We've got about a total from right now, just a little over 3 total hours. So this should be the last charging stop coming up, and then home from there. All right, I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, so we are rolling along at highway speed, just intermittent rain, very minimal so far. Hopefully that maintains. 44 miles to the next exit, just about 39 minutes. Exit 122. It is about 3:40. We should hit there about 4:18. We're making good time running along at highway speeds. 473 watt hours per mile, 63 miles on this leg, 50 minutes so far. Making good progress. We're just going to keep riding along. Just going to keep you updated here as we go. I'm anxious to see how this Iona charging session is going to go. All right, well, it just kicked on preconditioning for fast charging right at 20 miles out. We're going to hit there with about 10%. We have burned some electrons. Speed kills efficiency for sure. Arriving around 4:16, we gained quite a bit of time, so doing good. And let's see, getting off exit 122 in 19 miles. We're sitting at 18% on the battery currently. Ripping along. We've driven for an hour and 8 minutes, 87 miles, 484 watt hours per mile. We're not concerned with efficiency at all at this point. We're just riding along with traffic at highway speed, 77 degrees out, by the way. And we'll see what Iona looks like when we get there. This is a new Iona station that I've not been to, and I'm anxious to see if I can get the 300 plus kilowatt hours of charging that the truck should be able to get. So this will, we will see soon. I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, we're about to get off the exit here for the Iona Rechargery here at Casey's off exit 122, and arriving at 4:13, so we shaved off even more time, which is good. Arriving with 9%, we did chew up some electrons, which is also fine. Battery's been preconditioning. We're at 496 watt hours per mile. 106 miles in an hour and 22 minutes, so made decent progress, just riding along with traffic. And this is the first time I've been to this Iona. I will have to take over and either back in or pull into the charger. And let's see what this one looks like. A rough exit for sure. And let's find the chargers. I am looking around here. Let me go ahead and take over. I would assume they're on the other side of the building because I do not see them anywhere. I think they're right over here. Yep. There they are. A nice, I don't know what you call that color, but the blue and orange. And right here's next. So we're going to pull into this one. And we're going to back right in and let this truck go. Okay, and we are here. Let me go ahead and get plugged in. Beautiful Iona. Let's see if the button works. No go. I've had hit or miss with these. Let's get her plugged in. Now I'm gonna have to tap and pay. So let's go ahead and tap the credit card right here. Okay, that's going. Let me close the door real quickly. So Iona normally ramps right up. You can see it's 39 cents a kilowatt hour. Very inexpensive. No flat fee, no idle fee. Discounts may apply. So depending on the car you have and the automaker, you may automatically get a discount. These have great extensions where they fold out. And look at that, right up to 400 kilowatts. Absolutely love it. Great job, Iona. Definitely not a Cybertruck issue. That was an EVgo issue. I want you all to see that. 400 kilowatts. And that's what you can expect on a good charger. Fantastic. Great job, Iona. So I just wanted to show this Iona speed. We're still pulling 284 kilowatts at 23%. Of course, it's slowed way down. I've only been here just a few minutes and put in 18 kilowatt hours. I mean, it has just steadily ramped down, but it held 400 kilowatts for a few percent. Hey, listen, it's better than nothing, but it blows away what we've seen at EVgo and all that. I mean, it's so much better. EVgo's just not great. And if we take a look here at the charger, you'll see, let's go under active sessions. We hit the button. Then we're going to say select next. That's this one. And you'll actually be able to see in 4 minutes, we've put in 22 kilowatt hours of energy, $8.92. I mean, how amazing is that? And there's your charging curve from 401 kilowatts, just the taper down. That's the Tesla curve, which sucks, but thank goodness for Iona, huh? I mean, these are real chargers. These things work. Love Iona. Absolutely Iona speed. Guys, I'm all in on Iona. I absolutely think they're the best. Anyway, better than Tesla chargers, better than everybody else. They just rip. So I'll be back with you here shortly. So according to my phone, we have been charging exactly 8 minutes from the time the charging actually started on the truck until now. And we've put in 41 kilowatt hours. Now it's up to 43% in 8 minutes. It's ramped down to 166 kilowatts. You can hear the HVAC fans ripping. Let's see if we got any errors like we did out in Scottsdale. No errors other than authentication there at the station. And here's where it failed at the last one. So we're good, but HVAC is ripping, but this Cybertruck actually pulled a good charging curve until 40%, and then it kind of drops off a cliff. So here's the thing though, it's still charging better than it does at most chargers, and we're gonna let it keep ripping. Right now, we'll get home with 1%. Obviously, I wanna put a buffer on there. The ladies just went in to get a refreshment, and I will be back with you here shortly. Okay, let's take a look. We're ready to unplug. They just got back. We're already up to 60%. And we've been here 19 minutes, put on 65 kilowatt hours. Man, I love Iona. Let's see if the stop button works. That's the only thing I've noticed on some of these. This button on the handle doesn't work. So I'm going to have to get on the Tesla app and disconnect. So give me 1 second. But basically, let's look at it. We've been here 20 minutes, almost $28. So really inexpensive, and great job, Iona. Okay, so we're rolling along. 4:40 p.m. Shows arrival at home at 6:10. It's missing about 15 minutes of traffic because it's navigating without connectivity. The problem is, if we click on our vehicle icon down here, we have plenty of bars of LTE. I connected it to my phone hotspot, and it's still not working. So definitely something off. We'll see if it resets itself here as we go. If not, I can run Waze in the background. It'll be just fine. We're 5 minutes in, 5.2 miles. I'll keep you updated. Should arrive home with close to 18%. We've got plenty of battery. More details to follow. So I just want to comment here as I ride along, I cannot wait until Iona builds out their network. They bring real competition, really good charging, no fees, no app, no monthly plan. You just plug in and charge, and the kilowatt hour rate is great. They just work really, really well. Frankly, they're better than the Tesla superchargers. They're very, very good. I hope they maintain them. And, Mercedes charging network is using the same equipment. All of the new Mercedes stuff is the same Alpatronics units. I mean, they're fantastic. So, just a shout out there. Great job, Iona. Really, really impressive stuff. Anyway, I'm getting home with plenty of state of charge remaining, 17% in the pack after I get there. It's showing a 6:08 arrival. The problem is it doesn't have connectivity, but it actually does. So there's something going on with the map connectivity or whatever. But, I can play music, I can play stuff through podcast, and it connected it immediately and then dropped back off. So something's going on with the Google Map system connectivity in the Tesla. So who knows? Not worried about it. I've got Waze running in the background if I need it. I'll keep an eye on things. I'll be headed up through the Dallas-Fort Worth on the President George Bush Turnpike, so it's a bypass. Hopefully we won't hit a ton of traffic. We'll use the express lanes as needed. It's 82 degrees, 4:55 p.m. You can see we've been driving for about 20 minutes, 25 miles. Again, we're making great progress. FSD's doing the job. It's been doing the job the entire day. And let's take a look. One thing we haven't done lately, we have not looked at our full self-driving stats. So let's see if we've popped up at all. We're up to 87%. Remember, we started this leg at 86%, so it is climbing. That's good. Let's take a look at our trips. We know we're less than 100 miles to go, and we have driven 1,053 miles over the last several days back to DFW. 451 watt-hours per mile. Obviously, less efficient than the Roanoke trip on the way up, but we have been running at different speeds, and we did hit weather. So overall, I'm still happy with it, and glad to be headed home. 112 miles of projected range at 48%. That's running at these speeds and this efficiency. So it knows we're killing electrons right now at a fast rate. So let's dial it back. Anyway, let's see again. Still not connected, but we're 80 miles out, and hopefully we'll make that fairly quickly. I'll keep you posted. Okay, so we are in the traffic headed into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We're on I-30. We're in Fate, Texas, and only 9.4 miles from George Bush Turnpike. However, you'll see what traffic looks like. And they've had this mess under construction for years. It has been a mess for the last 20, 30 miles. And let's see, we've driven 51 miles, 43 minutes, 505 watt-hours per mile. That'll start improving here as we're sitting in traffic. But yeah, we only have 55 miles to go, arriving home with around 19%. It is 93 degrees out, it's warmed up, and 5:19 p.m. So hopefully we can get navigated through this, and I'll keep you updated. But yeah, this is the state of affairs here on a Friday evening. But a lot of it is there was a cop had somebody pulled over there. In addition, the construction and just in general traffic. So you saw there FSD did a maneuver and went around some of the slower moving vehicles. So that's good. It'll just do the job, and I can just sit back and observe and manage. And hopefully we'll be there very, very soon. I'll be back with you shortly. By the way, 33,702 miles on the odometer here in the Cybertruck. Be back momentarily. Okay, we're about to cross the lake. Kind of a cool view as the lanes do open up here to allow for more traffic flow, but we're crossing, I believe it's Lake Ray Hubbard, and we're at 487 watt-hours per mile, 56 miles, 52 minutes, and arriving home with 19%. Still no connectivity. Really, really strange. I haven't had to do that in a long, long time. Probably if it goes to sleep, the truck does, and starts back up, it'll be fine. Or a soft reboot of the infotainment system by holding down the 2 scroll wheels. But we're fine. I've got Waze running. I know the route anyway. And like I mentioned earlier, we're going to jump on President George Bush Turnpike here in 3.7 miles. So no big deal. Anyway, let's hope traffic stays flowing. We're going along at a good rate right now. And it's absolutely beautiful out. Glad to be back in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. 93 degrees out and almost there. Okay, I'll be back with you in a few minutes. Okay, we're on the President George Bush Turnpike, headed north up towards Flower Mound, Texas area. 19% stated charge remaining upon arrival. That's the estimated SOC. 38 miles left, 34 minutes. We're almost there. It's 5:38 p.m. We're hoping for smooth sailing the rest of the way. 484 watt-hours per mile, an hour and 3 minutes, 68 miles. So, making decent enough time. Just looking forward to getting there. It's been a long day, a long trip, a long few days, but glad to have done it. Got everything taken care of along the way, and another cross-country road trip under our belts. Now, I will have a trip here in a couple of weeks. I'll be taking the Mercedes EQS to the Scottsdale, Arizona area. And also more trips coming soon, for sure, with the Cybertruck and Rivian and the EQS. I've still yet to determine if we're going to take delivery of a Rivian R2, BMW iX3, just, considering all the things that are out there and what makes the most sense. So let's take a look at the overall trip stats. 1,096 miles, 451 watt-hours per mile. So all in all, pretty darn good. FSD's doing a great job through all of the traffic, the entire route. And let's take a look at the FSD stats. Still sitting at 87, which, honestly, I'm pretty pleased with. You can see 215 miles was the longest stretch. That was from 100% charge to the first charging stop on the way to Roanoke, Virginia. I'm sure we can beat that here in the future. But all in all, very, very pleased with FSD. As you can tell, I basically live on it. This truck's just about a year and a half old with nearly 34,000 miles. So it has seen some trips from the West Coast to the East Coast and everywhere in between. You see traffic's picking up. It is Friday afternoon, Friday evening. But it is beautiful here. I mean, look at that sky. So nice to see the big Texas sky and be back in the great state of Texas. So I will update you here as we get to our final destination in just a little bit. Just wanted to show you what the traffic looked like on a Friday afternoon on this 8-lane, 2, 3, 4, actually it's a 9-lane right now, divided highway, or turnpike. It's a busy Friday afternoon, but traffic's flowing, and that's a good thing. Absolutely beautiful sky. Just feels so nice to be here, to be honest. 488 watt-hours per mile, 78 miles an hour, and 11 minutes. We're making good progress. Let's keep that going. Arriving with around 18%. Of course, that estimated time is wrong. Still navigating without connectivity. No idea why that's happening, but not going to mess with it. I'll see if it resets itself after I lock and unlock the truck later today or tonight, as I have to go run a couple errands. So we will see how it goes. I'll be back with you shortly. So we're here merging, and I had to take over. It stopped very, very fast. It went from full speed to a complete stop on the exit ramp. So I intervened and did take over. The car would have done it fine, but I didn't want as abrupt of a stop for everybody riding. So anyway, we're 91 miles in. We only have 15 miles to go. We're almost there, but we're going to re-engage FSD now and get back on I-35 in just a couple of minutes. And let's see, why I say get back on an interstate, a highway, faster moving road. You can see traffic stop going the other direction. We can jump in the express lane. We've got 6.1 miles to Justin Road. It is 5:58 p.m. Still tracking. Anyway, I'll be back with you here with another update in just a little bit. We're almost done with this cross-country road trip. So I did take over to get on the expressway and also to get off the expressway because it wasn't going to use the express lanes, and I felt like it was a good idea to do that. Nonetheless, FSD could have, made it here. It just would have used the regular lanes, probably added it 5 or 10 minutes. No big deal. It would have done it safely. Regardless, so it's been a long trip, and we just kind of want to get home now. You'll see that car just literally just cut me off. And that's what happens with city traffic. So, we are only 7 miles away. And we're here on 407 Justin Road. We turn right in about 6 miles. 94 degrees out, 6:06 p.m. Right on track. This last leg, an hour and 31 minutes. 99.4 miles, 473 watt-hours. Let's take a look at the overall trip. Give you a kind of nearly final summary. Add about 6 miles to that. So, car at 1,133 miles, 451 watt-hours. Not terrible compared to the other Roanoke trip there. So what we are going to do, because we have the ability to do this, we can click this trip and we can rename it and just call it local. Let's change this to local, update. We can then, this is now named local, we can do a refresh on it. Boom. Yes. Go back. There's your local trip, it's playing. And so now we have that trip meter rolling. We've got our DFW trip, we've got our lifetime. Really love the new energy app and all the different trips you can set up. So I will go in and delete these out after this trip. I'll delete out the DFW and the Roanoke one. I'll just have local and lifetime, and then we'll add a new one for the next road trip. Anyway, I do appreciate you following along. If you've watched the whole way through this video, shoot me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I enjoy all your comments, all your feedback, and everything else. So I will give you a final update here in just a minute as I turn in about 5 miles. We'll end the trip there, and I'll kind of give you a final trip summary. Be back with you in just a few minutes. Okay, and guess what? We are at the destination, just turning into the neighborhood now. So, final trip stats. Of course, I'm going to call it 1 mile out. 106 miles, an hour and 42 minutes, 468 watt-hours per mile. Overall, on the DFW trip, 451 watt-hours per mile, 1,133 miles, as I mentioned earlier. Thanks for following along. Be safe out there, everyone. Until the next one, I will see you soon. Take care.